Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive. This is my 22 Tacoma. It's just the SR model. The only upgrade it really has from the factory is four-wheel drive. Now here in California, it gets a little interesting as far as the preferences go. When you're in the city, people are kind of like, oh, why do you want to pay the extra money, gas mileage, insurance, etc. When you start getting into the rural counties, people are kind of like, well, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And today we're going to break down some of the differences. Even got someone down there trying to get a sneak view of my latest video while I'm still making it. So the first argument, four-wheel drives use more gas. Perhaps. It does kind of make sense. The more parts you put into something, the more energy it's going to need to get around. But you also buy a four-wheel drive knowing that too, or at least hopefully you do. The second argument against four-wheel drives, they require more maintenance. Yes, but it's minimal. Every so often you'll have to service your transfer case and front differential. You also want to make sure you find time to use it every now and then. Third argument, you pay more in insurance. That one's a yes and a no. If you get a vehicle that has kind of a fan base, then yes. However, when I got insurance on the truck, my monthly payment only went up $20, and I used Geico. Now that said, had I got the Bronco, it would have been a lot more. Before I even bought a vehicle, I called Geico and I asked them how much a new Bronco would be for my insurance, and it would have been an additional $110 a month. So if you buy something that kind of has a fan base, something that kind of sells itself to a certain lifestyle, then yes, you're going to pay more in insurance. Toyota trucks have kind of an off-roading fan base too, but people also use them for work and for other things, so it's not going to cost as much as the Bronco would. I mean, obviously the old man going fishing or the Mexican guy running his own landscaping company isn't going to be out there destroying his truck, so there is that. Fourth argument, when are you going to use four-wheel drive? Well, yes, it's true. Unless you run a farm, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in two-wheel drive. But when I was in Tahoe, Reno, Carson City, it served me well. I was up there during a snowstorm. I put it in four-wheel drive, and this truck took the snow like any other well-maintained car would take some rain. So if you're going to get a truck, it does serve some purpose. Also, another point I'll throw on the table for four-wheel drive, no chaining up in the snow unless conditions are really horrible. But I'm not trying to change anyone's mind here. I know this is something most people are pretty solid on. And I mean, personally, I got nothing against two-wheel drive trucks. I mean, if you really know you're honestly never going to use it, then, I mean, there you go. But then I remember having this talk with my grandfather when he was alive. He had trucks all his life, mainly four-wheel drive, and in the end, he bought a two-wheel drive Tundra. I remember telling him one day I wouldn't mind having a four-wheel drive truck, and he was the kind of person that would tell you what he's thinking, whether you wanted to hear it or not. So that was followed with, why would you spend extra money on four-wheel drive? You don't hunt, you don't fish. What would you spend the extra money on it for? But maybe one day I'll be like that. I can be brutally honest if I deem it necessary. And don't forget, new videos every Sunday. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you guys next week.